Today we're going to be ranking all 23 Mario games on Switch from worst to best. I've spent countless hours with each title and I am ready to break down my definitive Mario ranking. Now if you do enjoy this video, do me a favour, subscribe, helps a channel like mine a huge amount, and now let's get into it. So just a quick note, we won't be featuring Mario 35 or any of the online expansion pass games. This is purely releases directly to the Switch. So starting at rock bottom, we have Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020. Now on paper, this should be a moment. Two iconic mascots finally going head to head in Olympic competition. But here's the thing, this feels less like a proper game, more like a flashy tech demo. The motion controls bring a few laughs initially, but the novelty wears off fast. Most events boil down to button mashing or Joy-Con waggling, and yeah, there's just no real progression. After an hour, you've seen everything, you've probably shelved it at that point for good. So for such an iconic crossover, it's just disappointing. Next up is Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. Real RC karts racing around your living room with AR overlays. It sounds absolutely genius, and honestly, the first setup does feel like magic. But you need tons of space for this to work. The karts then are expensive too. The racing itself feels sluggish, and when the frame rate dips, it just breaks that immersion completely. Basically, once the wow factor wears off, you're kind of left with a neat idea that doesn't really hold up as a full game. It's more an impressive toy. Super Mario Party brought the series back to its roots after a string of misfires, and at first glance, it looks like a proper return to form. The board game setup is back, Joy-Con minigames can be genuinely clever, and the visuals are bright and charming. But once that nostalgia fades, the cracks show. Only 4 small boards, overly simple minigames that rely too heavily on finicky motion controls, and online play that simply came too late and for that reason feels bolted on. It's a solid step forward, but pretty much for its life, it's felt half-built. Mario vs. Donkey Kong is a remake of the 2004 Game Boy Advance puzzle platformer, and yes, it definitely feels like it. But here you're guiding Mario through mechanical obstacle courses, flipping switches and chasing DK through worlds of levers and conveyor belts. It looks great honestly, with clean visuals and animation, but that gameplay loop wears out its welcome quickly. You're basically doing the same switch pushing routine again and again, and while it ramps up in difficulty, it never evolves meaningfully. So for a near full price game, it is surprisingly short, with little replay value, and yeah, generally, it's just kind of dated. Mario Strikers Battle League had everything going for it. Fast, chaotic arcade football with slick animations and brutal power shots. When you're mid-match, it feels fantastic. But outside of that, there's just not much here. Tiny roster, weak stadium variety, no meaningful single-player content. It's like Nintendo built the perfect skeleton for a top-tier Mario sports game and then forgot to add the muscles. Online works, well I'll give it that, and local play has its moments, but after a few hours, you've basically seen nearly everything. Mario Golf Super Rush swings for the fences with genuinely fresh ideas. You know, the speed golf, it brings chaos to a usually calm sport, and the RPG light story mode, it adds some nice progression, but neither quite land. Speed golf is fun for a few matches, but it doesn't have legs. Motion controls can be janky. The golf feels stripped down compared to past Mario Golf entries, and the story mode, it wraps up just as it's getting interesting. So yeah, it just feels like it never quite committed to the formula. Paper Mario: The Origami King is one of the best looking Mario games, period. The papercraft world is beautifully realized with incredible animation work, it's like flipping through a handcrafted diorama. The writing then, charming. It's got clever jokes and heartfelt moments. Boss battles as well, they shine, turning combat into inventive set-piece puzzles. The problem though, the regular battle is just total slog. The ring-based system kills any momentum. Every encounter becomes a slide and spin puzzle, and because there's no XP in this game, there's no progression at all. So basically, it's gorgeous to look at, but incredibly frustrating to play. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle was a shocker in the best way. Nobody expected Mario meets XCOM to work, but somehow it does. Tactical combat here has real depth, cover mechanics, movement options, ability cooldowns, and it all clicks together. There's genuine strategy here with solid weapon upgrade flexibility. But the Rabbids slapstick humor doesn't mesh with Mario's universe. It's more grating than goofy. The battles as well, they drag as the game goes on, and sometimes the downtime between fights just feels like filler. So I think with this one, it's a solid genre crossover, do not get me wrong. I just think it's held back by pacing and tone issues. Mario Party Jamboree is easily the most complete Mario Party release yet. Biggest roster, largest selection of minigames, most creative boards in years. It finally feels like a full package with working online play, and there's been some real care put into variety and polish. But at the end of the day, it is still Mario Party, and like all of them, outcome often comes down to luck, not skill. You can play brilliantly and still get robbed by random stars or last minute twists. However, I will say this about the game, it's not my favourite entry, and that is because it relies on the motion controls and Joy-Con just a little bit too much for my liking. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe is what I'd consider peak fine. It's polished, it's well-made 2D Mario that absolutely works. Tight level design, snappy controls, great co-op. The Deluxe version adds Nabbit and includes the Luigi U expansion for good value, but here's the problem, it's all just safe. It's Nintendo running on autopilot. Not bad, but lacking on creativity. The creativity that makes Mario special. So yeah, I'd call it like competent, but forgettable, especially in a post-Wonder world. Mario Tennis Aces is going to be a hell of a lot higher on my list than pretty much anyone else's out there, but this game surprised me. I've sunk over 100 hours into this one. I got so hooked with this game. Now, the story mode itself is basically a glorified tutorial about a cursed tennis racket, but the core tennis gameplay is genuinely great fun, and I got stuck online basically. But yeah, special moves bring flair without feeling over the top, and the tournaments, again, online, addictive. But the energy meter system is the one thing that makes this game feel gimmicky. Instead of pure skill, and matches revolve around timing super shots just right. And once someone masters how to build up that meter, it's easy to basically overcome anyone that you are facing. Super Mario 3D All-Stars is hard to rank, not because of the games themselves, but how they were delivered. On paper, it's incredible. Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy all in one package. Galaxy especially still feels incredible today. But the release was weird, a limited time offering that felt more like marketing gimmick than celebration. The ports themselves are bare bones as well, with no real upgrades, no bonus content. Also, no Galaxy 2, where the hell is that game? But yeah, basically it's 3 incredible games packaged in a way that felt lazy, kind of cynical, and just felt like a money grab rather than the celebration it should have been. Mario and Luigi Brothership brings the beloved RPG duo to Switch with a nautical twist. Now, the timing-based combat is just as fun as ever. It requires real skill to master, and the writing nails classic Mario and Luigi charm. The island hopping structure keeps things fresh, but it's the pacing with this one that drags. I think there's too much dialogue. The timing windows feel tighter than they should at times, and while the story is sweet, it's also very, very predictable. That's what makes the dialogue drag too much. Solid RPG basically, with strong mechanics and charm, but it doesn't do quite enough to keep you constantly, I guess, locked in. Okay, so we are moving up the ladder to the really good stuff now. Mario Party Superstars is basically a greatest hits album for the N64 era, bringing 5 classic boards and 100 minigames from the first 3 entries. I'm basically showing my age putting this high. The board selection, though, is excellent. These are iconic layouts, and the minigame lineup is cherry-picked from the best of the bunch. Even the online functionality works surprisingly well. This one as well, I think the reason I like it so much is it's simple, and again, call me old here, but it fully supports the Pro Controller. Mario plus Rabbids sparks a hope built on Kingdom Battle in almost every way. More dynamic tactical combat, looser movement system, varied battle objectives, it's fresher basically. The Sparks mechanic adds a real depth as well to customization, and battles feel more strategic and less repetitive. The tonal weirdness honestly persists. Rabbids' humor still clashes with Mario's universe, but I do think it is better. And again, some of the battles do drag. But all of this said, I think it is a very good entry. I think I'd love to see a third one basically. The only other complaint I'd say is it never quite feels like a new game as such. It's more just a refined experience. The Mario Kart World for Switch 2 is ambitious, I will give it that, and it's probably going to be higher on a lot of people's lists as well. You know, the 24-player online races can feel like genuinely epic, and the dynamic weather systems show real potential. Visual presentation takes full advantage of Switch 2's capabilities. It is incredibly impressive. But here's the thing, I think in a few years this might reach the greatness of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but it's not there yet. I think for this one, the heavy online focus neglects single player, and the open world elements feel underdeveloped. It could learn a lot from games like Odyssey, honestly. There's just not enough secrets, not enough to do. But yeah, there's a solid foundation here. I just think it needs more time to mature into something truly special. Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door is widely considered the series' peak, and this remake absolutely does the original justice. The story is just surprisingly entertaining, with tons of great characters, sharp writing, and loads of twists. The turn-based combat never feels dull thanks to the deep badge system, and the partner characters bring unique abilities and real personality. I think also visually, this game is stunning. It has a few pacing issues, transparently due to some backtracking, but this is still one of the best Mario RPGs ever made. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury gives you two excellent Mario experiences in one package. 3D World is pure platforming craftsmanship with endlessly creative level design and smooth co-op chaos. The catsuit is just incredibly fun. Bowser's Fury, however, is a bold experiment. Semi-open world with challenges tackled in any order, plus a giant kaiju Bowser that randomly just shakes things up. It's awesome. It's just, yeah, chaotic. Even if it is a little short, unfortunately, I hope this is a sign of things to come for Mario, but it's basically classic meets innovation, and both are absolutely worth the cash. Super Mario Maker 2 isn't your typical Mario game. It's more creation engine with a surprisingly great story mode, and look, this is actually a personal favourite of mine, but I'll be the first to admit that finding the gold means wading through tons of mediocre user-created levels. The tools, though, are genuinely impressive. It lets players craft wild experiments Nintendo would ever touch, and the story mode showcases incredible creativity. Basically with this one, it is well worth it. It's basically endless Mario, but if you're not into that treasure hunt for great levels, I totally get why this actually might rank lower for you. Super Mario RPG Remake is absolutely gorgeous, bringing the original's isometric world to life with stunning visuals. Now, combat with time button presses, that still holds up incredibly well. The story remains charming with a great cast, and the remastered music gives everything a polished feel. Its loyalty to the original is both strength and weakness. Some dated design elements haven't aged gracefully, honestly. Too many random encounters, 90s pacing, but this is still a masterpiece, and it deserves its spot near the top. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is without question the best kart racer ever made. Controls are tight and responsive. Track selection is incredible, blending remade classics with bold new designs. Visually, it is stunning, with smooth split-screen multiplayer. There's proper battle modes, there's generous DLC support. The single player, loads of structure, and online, great fun. Don't know what else to say, honestly. Kart racing perfection, the definitive version of one of Nintendo's best. Super Mario Bros. Wonder is exactly the shot in the arm 2D Mario needed after years of tired, new series formula. Wonder flowers turn levels into pure chaos, screen-melting visuals, gravity-defying transformations that keep you constantly guessing, animation work that is packed with charm, level design that is inventive throughout, and there's power-ups like Elephant Mario. They just feel genuinely impressive. Now, I will admit some Wonder effects lean towards spectacle over substance, but this is easily the best 2D Mario in over a decade. And finally, at the absolute top, Super Mario Odyssey completely redefines 3D Mario with its groundbreaking capture mechanic. Basically, you can possess enemies and objects to fundamentally change how you interact with the world. It's more than a gimmick, it's evolution. The kingdoms are brilliantly designed, they feel huge and packed with secrets. Mario's movement has never felt better, it's so precise. New Donk City alone is an instant classic, and yeah, you can't make any complaints about this game. It confidently reinvents what a 3D platformer can be, and I actually think it's amongst the best games ever made. So from party games to platformers, RPGs to racers, the Mario franchise on Switch truly offers something for everyone. The top tier represents not just great Mario games, but some of the best games ever made, proving that after decades in the business, Mario still knows how to surprise and delight us. So what do you think of my ranking? Let me know in the comments which Mario game is your favourite, and yeah, subscribe if you enjoyed this. Alright, I'll see you all on the next video. Cheers all.